and we didn't make any. There was no money made from the Melania team on any. We didn't take any liquidity out. Zero.
According to page 12, attorney Gregorio Del Bon requested that the Argentine courts order the international arrest of Libra founder Hayden Mark Davis for the mega scam promoted by Javier Milei. Del Bon's main argument is that Davis, given his vast financial resources, could hinder the progress of the case by leaving his country of residence, the United States, or remaining in hiding. For this reason, the lawyer requested that the international arrest of Davis be ordered and that an Interpol red notice be issued in order to locate and arrest him, with a view to his extradition. As a reminder, on February 14th, Hayden and his company Kelsier created the Libra token, which was promoted by Argentine President Javier Milei. Immediately after the launch, Hayden began a so-called maximum liquidity extraction using a variety of tactics, including draining liquidity pools by adding one-sided liquidity. This caused an extreme price drop, after which a huge scandal broke out. Hayden said in an interview with Coffeezilla that everything went wrong when President Milei deleted his post endorsing the project, insinuating that the disaster was actually the result of Milei's change of heart. Listen to this part.
And I don't know, I still don't have answers on exactly what happened with why he took the post down. I'm assuming there's some extreme political pressure that he got and he panicked. As somebody in his position, I would feel rightly so. I mean, he's not like a crypto native person. And then we've been working through like, okay, what can we do from here?
But this simply wasn't the case. So the price didn't drop because Milei deleted the post. He deleted the post after the price dropped so much that everyone was shouting, scam, scam, scam. As you can see on the chart, this is where it happened. After that, the price dropped even more, but that certainly wasn't the cause of the collapse. Hayden explained in that same interview why they pulled the liquidity out of the token, blaming the snipers. Listen to this part carefully.
One of the issues with Libra is when you launch on Meteora, right, and you're trying to avoid all these snipers, there's this whole context around like shitloads of insiders. That's not what's going on. What's going on is you have these, I don't know how they're doing it, but these expert snipers. They're not good snipers, right? They're all bad snipers. They're just looking to unload their whole position. But basically what happened was when it launched, our goal was, okay, can we collect enough liquidity, which again, people can say we're pieces of shit or not, but the goal was to connect enough liquidity because Milei was going to do another video, and then there were some other, I won't name them, but there were some other high-level people that were going to interact, post, etc., market the video, right? So our goal was, can we take enough liquidity off to get all the snipers out, or at least control them so that when the chart dips down, it's not going to crush the whole project. Have Milei do the second round of videos, and then inject all the capital back in.
So Hayden explains that snipers buy large amounts of tokens before everyone else, which is true, then dump them, driving down the price. He claims that they wanted to preserve the price of Libra by first taking all the money that people had put in, with a plan to later put that money back into the token and pump up the price. Because he expected Milei to continue promoting the token along with some unnamed important people. That story would be cool if there wasn't that what happens on the blockchain stays on the blockchain thing. I investigated this case after the Melania token was launched. I immediately discovered Hayden's addresses long before Libra was created. I saw terrible things, but I had no idea what kind of scandal would happen after Libra. And now I will show you why what Hayden says is not true. I will show you everything, what he did and how he did it. I've only put a really small part of his network here because it's simply not possible to put everything on one chart. He and his company create a lot of tokens, use thousands of addresses to snipe those tokens from, and a ton of addresses on different blockchains like Ethereum, Arbitrum, Avalanche, where that sniping money comes from and where they send the profits to hide their tracks. Once again, Hayden says that his modus operandi is to extract liquidity. that he snipes his tokens to prevent other snipers from doing so, and then he puts that money back into the tokens. So he justifies his token sniping by claiming that after he sells the tokens he sniped, he buys the same token again with the money he took from the sale. Okay, let's see what he did with the profit he made when he sniped the Melania token, which he created. Hayden sniped Melania from this address with $40,000. He was the first. No sniper managed to buy it before him. Then he dumped all the tokens and made a profit of $2.4 million. Then he transferred that profit to 0xCEA on the Avalanche network via CCTP to hide his tracks. Then he returned that $2.4 million to the Solana network, to this address, from which he sent the money to Drift and Camino to make more profit there. As you know, we are in mid-March. The Melania token was created on January 19th, so almost 2 months ago, and Hayden did not put that money into the token, but kept it for himself. Now, I want you to listen to what he said when Coffeezilla asked him about Melania.
Were you part of the Melania launch, and was that sniped as well?
I mean, look, I think that, I told you, like, beforehand, before this started, I mean, I'm happy to share the truth, but, I mean, you're asking a question that's, it's just, I mean, I'll answer, but it's just factually going to put me into a lot of danger, which is fine. I'll answer. I was part of it. I think the team did want to snipe it because of how big the snipe was on Trump's, and we weren't we definitely weren't the big sniper. We were not that was what we were trying to avoid. And we didn't make any, there was no money made from the Melania team on any, we didn't take any liquidity out. Zero.
So Hayden says that the Melania team wanted the token to be sniped and that he and his team didn't make any money, that they didn't take any liquidity out. As you can see, that's not true. It's a lie. And this is just one of many addresses they bought Melania from. The same thing happened when he sniped Libra. For example, this is one of the addresses, just one of the addresses, from which he sniped the token and sold it for about $2.18 million. He sent that money to 0xCEA on the Avalanche network, again to cover his tracks, and then he returned that profit to 2 Solana addresses. From one of those addresses, C5RJ, he immediately sends money to Camino, again to make more money, and then he sent some of the money to the Ethereum network, to an address that starts the same as the one in the yellow box, 0xCEA, but they're not the same addresses. As for this other address, BH7Z, to which he sent about $1.4 million in profit from Libra sniping, things are a little different. The money was transferred to another address, this one here, and that's where most of that money is currently located, or rather hidden, and a little over $236,000 was transferred to Kraken. As you can see, Hayden's story that he's sniping tokens to put that money back into those tokens later is empty. He simply kept the money. And let me be clear here. This money that I showed you, and a lot of money that I didn't show you, is not, I repeat, is not the $100 million he reported taking from Libra. The money he reported is currently in these 3 addresses. Some is in USDC and some is in Sol. Since the price of Sol has dropped, that money is currently worth about $72 million. But wait, that's not all. I already mentioned that he creates a lot of tokens, some of which are, as you see here, Trust and Hood. But that was all happening before this Libra scandal. What I see as a problem is that Hayden and his company Kelsier didn't stop doing the same thing after they got caught in this. For example, the other day I published my investigation on X, where I showed that Hayden and Kelsier were acting as if nothing had happened. They created the Wolf token a few days ago. The token's description states that it is the official The Wolf of Wall Street movie IP, and the token is being promoted by major crypto influencers, including Wall Street Bets. Here is what the chart looks like. Yeah. Before that, they created Tind, and that also was after Libra. This is the chart. It's unbelievable. They don't care at all. The way he does it is always the same. He funds the addresses of the token creators via fixed float, change now, and the like, because those transactions are not easily traceable. You have to really know blockchain analytics to figure out the source of that money. Then he funds hundreds of addresses from which he snipes his tokens from other networks using bridges. After he takes the profit, as you saw in these cases of Melania and Libra, he transfers it from network to make it difficult to trace even for experts. And now something very interesting is left. In this upper part of the graph, you see a few addresses that are connected to Hayden. This is also just a small part of addresses. There are many more that are involved in this. So you see that these addresses sent 12,000 SOL to the address CBHV, which is actually a bot. And that address bought a token with a small market cap, really small, a couple $100,000, called Pope, pumping the price up to the sky. Then that bot lost all the money, while some other addresses made millions from a couple $100 invested. Some people say that this is money laundering, but that is a topic for a whole new video. My name is V. Subscribe.